Okay, welcome back. It is now 8:47. Item item E, reconvene to open session. It is now 8:47. Announcements of actions taken in closed session. Amy, there were no actions taken in closed session. Item G. What? Yes. Mr. Alvarado, just so you know, Mr. Alvarado left at around 7:45 PM this afternoon. Item G, public hearing. G1, sufficiency and availability of textbooks or instructional materials for CUSD students. Written or oral comments will be heard at this time regarding the consideration of adoption of a resolution stating that the district has a compliance with Education Code Section 60119 pertaining to sufficiency and availability of textbooks or instructional materials for all pupils in the Calexico Unified School District. Is any of these comments regarding that, Janet?
No.
So, at this point,
There's no comments, we close the hearing.
we're going to open the hearing.
Mhm.
It is now 8:48. We open the hearing for G1. Are there any comments? No comments? At this point, we're going to close the hearing on G1. G2, public hearing for the school facility needs analysis and the proposed alternative fees. Are there any comments on that?
Maribel's gonna make some words.
Go ahead, Maribel. Oh, hold on, no, hold on, yes, we do have Jose Hinojosa on these two items.
Facilities?
He left? Okay, is anybody else that is going to talk about this item before Maribel goes and presents? You need to, if it's about this item, it needs to be before we talk about the item. Yes. Go ahead. Sorry, Maribel.
Good evening. I didn't write anything up. I kind of wanted to let you know that I'm representing the community, the self-employed. Mr. Osejo is a contractor, Mr. Jose Hinojosa is another contractor. I got a lot of calls because of the assessment, the hike. I understand that under state law, there needs to be a fee analysis. However, it's up to the board. Remember that we already taxed this community with the Measure V and the Measure Q. There's a lot of construction going on, and I do understand that the fee analysis is a yearly fee. But you need to be and realize that there's other components that you need to come in, that you need to consider. Number one, the economics of this community. It's not we're a low-income community. And number two, the demographics. Number three, you know the enrollment is going down. It's not going to increase. I talked to the developers of the two failed developments in Calexico. Unfortunately, they're not building in Calexico. They are building in El Centro, in Pearl Brawley, and this is one of the reasons. So, for example, one of the builders said, I paid $37,000 to the school district. I paid another $47,000 to the Calexico City Hall. So as a developer, you're not hampering, we're not adding, and without a tax base, Calexico is going down. So as an economic development professional as well, you need to realize that what you're doing here with the fee assessment, it's okay to have the analysis and to know, but at the end of the day, it's gonna be you, if you vote for it or against. And this community cannot afford another increase on the fees that they have to pay. In addition, we're already at the level 2 fees. So why do the other increase? I mean, wait a little bit. That's all I'm asking. It's just the community comes first. Remember, community economic is a community comes first. Thank you.
Can you state your name for the record?
I'm sorry, Janet. My name is Belinda Alvarado, and I live in Calexico.
Thank you, Ms. Alvarado. I also have Osejo Construction Company? That was you? No. Okay. All right. Now G2. Go ahead.
We need to open this as well for
Hold
public.
on, is it
I think he did.
public hearing? Okay, so at this point, G2, public hearing for the school facilities need analysis for the proposed alternative fees. So at this point, it is now 8:52. We're going to open the public hearing. We just heard a comment from Ms. Alvarado. Anybody else that would like to speak on the, go ahead. That is why it's a public hearing.
Thank you so much, Honorable School Board and community, for offering the opportunity to speak on this very sensitive issue that impacts all of Calexico, but not really all of Calexico. It impacts property owning Calexico. And I would just like to say, and being very clear, that none of what I say up here represents the city of Calexico. I am not up here as a council person. I am up here as a regular citizen commenting on a school board item. It's enraging to hear the attitude from someone that looks to be very well off here in our community, accompanied by a construction firm. Construction firms, they speak very loudly here, but I want to remind this school board that the community, time and time again, even if we have been disappointed previously, and I'm talking previously, Measure H, Measure V was a success. Measure V was the crown jewel of this school board because it was well managed, there was a tax, and we saw the results. This community, time and time again, has shown willingness to support their students. There are a couple of rich people out here that don't want to pay their taxes for the benefit of the community. But the majority of Calexico will pay these taxes as long as they are well spent. So yes, move forward with the fee analysis because there are other taxes, there are other things wrong with the city that make it hard for construction. But if developers don't want to pay their fair share so that the people living in the buildings that they're going to build get a good education, I don't want them here. The community has said, pay your taxes because we want a well-educated community. But of course, it's up for the school board to maintain the integrity of spending that money wisely. I think recently with the Measure V and the Measure Q, the school board, at least on the construction, has delivered on those promises, and we should move forward with this fee study. Don't let a couple of construction firms, don't let a couple of property-owning rich people in Calexico come here to try to convince you otherwise. La gente de Calexico quiere y seguirá queriendo invertir en el bienestar de todos los estudiantes, salvo la opinión de unos cuantos riquillos que quieren venir aquí a decir de otra manera. Ahí están los resultados electorales. Los ciudadanos de Calexico le importan tanto los estudiantes que pagamos poquito más en impuestos. No hay problema. Esta compañía, esta empresa de construcción no quiere, pero es un interés privado. Escuchen a los ciudadanos, ahí están los resultados electorales. Muchas gracias.
Mr. Ureña, can you state your name, please?
Right.
Mi nombre es Raúl Ureña, for the record.
Thank you, Mr. Ureña. Okay, so that was a comment on G2. Anybody else? Mr. Horton, go ahead. Please state your name, please.
Ben Horton,
Thank you, Mr. Horton.
longtime resident of Calexico. I'm going to say something, and I'm going to say it not either for or against. Just going to give you the facts. I have worked very hard in this city to bring new businesses to Calexico. If you notice, we got a Taco Bell coming in, Popeye's Chicken, Dairy Queen, Dunkin' Donut, and a new fuel station that's going to be both electric and fuel. I worked very hard to bring those in. And I want to say something. Everything has to be explained to the people. When you explain things to the people, they have a better understanding. And I call that transparency. Now, we're looking to do something about the fees. I think we have to do something to improve the standard of living for our community. I have worked very hard. When we took over the Crossroads Center, it didn't have any of those things. As you can see, they're building now. And we did this when they had the virus here. We brought that in. Now, I'm looking to bring in for the Forever 21 building, to bring in Ross and Burlington. They're going to pay their fees. They're not going to cry about it or say we can't do that, because in the long term, you make money. You make money, but you have to invest money in order to make money. Now, there's certain groups in the city that cannot do what the big businesses do. They're not capable of doing that. But big businesses can come in. I have to excuse me about these masks. Big business can come in and help the small business to move forward too. So this is something to think about. And I'm proud to be part of this community. I'm proud to work hard to bring new industries to the city. And I'm happy to give my comment. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Horton. We're still on G2. The public hearing is still open. Anybody else? Going once, going. Thank you, Mr. Kim. Go ahead.
My name is Jung Kim. Thank you. I think everybody's tired already. And one thing, before I'm talking about the fees, whatever, at the agenda, they said approximately 6 p.m. they will be held a regular meeting. They're going to come back. You guys are going to come back from the closed session. What time is now? It's not 6:30, not even 7. It's around 8:30. It can be challenged by the people, but legally, because it's not transparency. You guys fail to the right amount of the time the meeting going to be starting. So you guys have to deal with it. You guys disrespect the people, and you guys systematically to block the people to attending the meeting. And also, you guys holding the regular meeting once a month, that's ridiculous. And I believe you guys coward or lazy or the dictating the districts. And whatever you guys doing it, whatever reason you guys doing it is systematically blocking the people attending the meeting and their concerns, discouraging the people. Look at the people. There are lots of people that left. And talking about the fees, there is some kind of the limit. City of Calexico, very knownly, very high infrastructure fees and school infrastructure fees too. So yes, I understand that the city or school district needs money to supporting the school, but I think we have so much been past the limit. So the council, the school district board members should be consider is that very carefully to that real amount of the fees community can afford it. Look at this Calexico, not many houses, no constructions. Why? Think about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kim. We're still on G2? Sorry, we're still on G2. And, yeah, but I need to close the, so if no more comments at this point, we are going to close the public hearing. And Maribel, it's all yours.
So I just want to just say and remind that this school facility need analysis justification, SFNA, expires every year. So we do have to, that's why we're proposing an renewal of our justification study report. This is for a justification that details our level 2 and level 3 developer fees on residential construction projects. And we do have level 2 and level 3 fees must be reviewed and authorized every year, as I say, for a school facility needs analysis. And the previously adopted SFNA for level 2 and 3 for residential construction was October 22 of 2020. So by law, the board must adopt it, updated school facility needs analysis by a resolution at a public hearing. So the action item and presentation from school facility consultants, it's under an action item 040. So I just wanted.
Thank you, Maribel. So that was G2, public hearing. We opened it and closed it, and Maribel gave the synopsis of why we need these fees looked at. Item H, comments from the public. The board will take any and all comments from the public related to an item on the agenda or any item of district business that is not on the agenda. So I have, okay, at this point, hold on, at this point, I'd like to extend the meeting until 10:30. Is there a second? There's a second by Mr. Calderon. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 4-0. Raul Ureña on public comments. No, he just public comments.
Muy buenas tardes. Good afternoon. Before I go ahead and start my comment, just to notify, before I start my comment, just to notify Mr. President and Ms. Counsel, Attorney Counsel, I'm requesting ADA accommodations. I typically have accommodation for 1.5 time due to a neurological disability. If that could be respected for this public comment.
Can you please provide more explanation for why it inhibits your public comment to be within the 3-minute timeline?
Sure. I'm not sure that's a requirement under the ADA, but just to make it public, I will go ahead and do so. I have been diagnosed with ADHD, severe ADHD. I forgot the classification, but it has both of them, and it inhibits my ability to organize comments, especially when I'm put on the spot. So I need that 1.5 time to organize my thoughts, put them into speech, and communicate this to the school board and to the community. I do have a letter from my psychiatrist if you would like it to be provided after the meeting.
I'll defer to the board president.
Mr. Ureña, I will grant you your request. However, just be mindful that we will close the meeting at 10:30. Okay, so please be mindful that there's about 7 or 8 more comments that need to be made. So go ahead.
It seems you requested 4 minutes and 30 seconds, correct?
Yeah.
Noted. I will try to be as brief as possible and stay within the 3 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Ureña. Go ahead.
Thank you. I'll go ahead and speak in Spanish if that's okay. Muy buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Raúl Ureña. Ahorita no estoy hablando de parte de la ciudad de Calexico. Mis palabras ahorita no representan la ciudad de Calexico. No estoy aquí como concejal, miembro de Cabildo. Estoy aquí como miembro de la comunidad. Hace ya casi 15 años, yo estuve aquí, no me acuerdo si era en la César Chávez, porque se había movido la junta administrativa desde el School Board hasta el City Hall y para atrás a la César Chávez por el mismo tema de los salarios de los maestros. 15 años después estamos aquí en las mismas pero no las mismas. Francamente, yo he visto un nuevo School Board. Tenemos a la señora Magallanes, Yo vi cuando el Ciro Calderón, con el apoyo de muchos padres, llegó a estar donde está él aquí, y la verdad sí he visto mucho progreso. He visto más transparencia en los gastos de las medidas, Measure V, Measure Q. Hay cosas que se han hecho muy bien, pero el tema de los maestros, el de los salarios de los maestros, todavía no se sigue manejando de la manera que se debería manejar, en mi opinión. Yo sé que hay un trade-off entre el salario y el health insurance. Eso es entre los partidos negociantes, pero en base
So
a lo que yo he
the
escuchado…
20-minute public comment time for negotiations passed prior to the closed session.
I'm not talking about negotiations. I'm talking about the general way and the politic on how it's being handled. Do you speak Spanish? Yes, excellent. You should know. Sí. ¿Cómo se dice? Pero nomás clarificando que no estoy hablando de la negociación. Primero que nada, 20 minutos, la regla de 20 minutos inmediatamente debería ser agendada para revisión en la próxima junta del distrito escolar, porque no es aceptable bajo ninguna circunstancia que se calle la voz de los estudiantes, de los maestros, de los miembros de la comunidad que gustan hablar sobre el tema de la negociación, y luego para que alguien venga aquí y que la abogada me diga que me calle porque no puedo hablar de ciertas cosas. Eso está en pie porque ustedes lo quieren tener en pie. Si ustedes, el presidente o dos board members pide que se reconsidere esa regla, se hace porque se hace. Y si no se hace, voy a asegurarme que todo el pueblo de Calexico sepa que su mesa directiva no los quiere escuchar, porque es antidemocrático. No quería entrar enojado a esto, pero eso sí, francamente, me decepcionó mucho, sabiendo que hay dos miembros de esta mesa directiva que son progresistas, que están con estas gentes, que están con el bien. Yo quería ser maestro cuando me vine de la universidad hace ya año y medio. Yo quería ser maestro, y nomás quería ser maestro en una escuela, en la Calexico. Yo no tengo nada que ofrecer para el centro, Brole y Hopeville. Tengo mucho que ofrecer para todos, pero mi corazón yo lo quería dar a Calexico. Pero si ustedes no me van a dar el apoyo de agarrar mi teaching credential, y cuando lo agarre me van a tratar así, voy a agarrar mi master's y me voy para el IBC. Sabiendo yo, siendo matemático, entrenado en cómo culturalmente hacer accesible las matemáticas para una comunidad como esta, yo ahorita, por las decisiones y por lo que estoy viendo, no voy a trabajar aquí y jamás lo haré. Ustedes van a poner esa decisión en política, en práctica, para gente como yo. Así de gente educada, masters, Calexico High School graduates, quieren venir para atrás aquí. Y el único obstáculo es la paga y la trata. Voy a decir algo controversial. La verdad, la mayoría de nuestros administradores, y hablo de principals, un 60-70%, they're overpaid and they're underqualified. Pero a ellos no les hacemos lo mismo que le hacemos a los teachers. We have either some really exceptional, good-hearted administrators like Dr. Luna in this district that don't get any recognition, and then we just have a lot of overpaid people that just want to do the same thing over and over again and fight the teachers to protect their paycheck. We got to invest in the front lines. Y eso va a cambiar transformativamente la política de esta mesa. Se los encargo. Muchas gracias.
Thank you, Mr. Raul Ureña. Mr. Kim?
I'm here again. Okay, first of all, we are not educating our children here right method. Best method of the education is promoting, encouraging the children. They can learn, they can study by themselves. And what we do, squeezing the teachers and employees, pushing them to sacrifice, force them to sacrifice their life endangering their personal life. That's what they're doing right now. I'm first commission, child first commission, commissioner. Last week, we made 6% raise and the 5 years COLA guarantees. I made approve it. We put in the agenda. We approved the last Thursday. We need treat our employees to in certain level they can support their life. How you guys, I believe Mr. Calderon, you are teachers or the counselor, whatever. How you gonna work good or you dedicating your profession when you suffering your life? Can you do it? Anybody cannot do it. And now school district does. And you guys are saying, oh, you don't have better education? Where is better education? It's impossible you squeezing the teachers and employees to asking their performance. That's wrong. And I heard about the benefit. As a benefit, we've been charged too much. And when I was a school board member, I was trying to touching that areas. Guess what happens? School district, school board member, they opened a special meeting. They were all over me. They falsely accusing it. They did that. And this very logically, when you do see somebody keep raising the price to cost it, is very logically you need to look for them to get the better deal. And you guys not doing it. Again, instead of you paying $12 million, lawyer and contractors, consultant, why we need so much $12 million? Where is our education? Our education as a lawyer to doing your job right now, to tell the people not to talk? Everybody has the right to talk in the regular meeting. Anything jurisdiction of the school district. Even the negotiation, we are the person, we are public person, we are not engaging with the negotiations. So please, I don't like to see the lawyers here spending our tax monies. You guys have to know, study. Do your job as you guys have been promised to the community.
Thank you, Mr. Kim. Next is Angel de Dios, please.
I'm just going to make it real quick. It's also kind of what Mr. Raul Orenia was saying. I find it quite disrespectful and that the district, this board here, decides to be so stingy with the negotiations. And it really is disheartening. I mean, it's 20 minutes, right? You saw how many people were here ready to talk. Not everyone can talk here, not everyone has the time, and they were trying to come here. So same request is going by and saying, add that to the next agenda. Make sure that you write down that that shouldn't be the limit. If majority of the people here want to talk, let them talk. It is disheartening, and then you're silencing their voices. There's other students here that wanted to express their voices. They told me to go, okay, perfect, but what if they wanted to say something? And what they could have said could have brought something else to the table. It could have brought an idea. It could have brought an inspiration. And it is pretty hard. I mean, it hurts to see that, of course, laws are laws. That's what the structure that you guys built, the 20 minutes, that is totally understandable. But the fact is, like earlier, I would hope the lawyer apologizes to Raul Ureña for not even listening to us talk about something, and if it was negotiations, boom, instantly on board, trying to silence. I mean, that's just one example. I get that they're doing their job, but at the end of the day, it's an example of how easily this board, and especially your lawyer that you're paying taxpayer money from, is, you know, jumping on board here, and we're saying, okay, you know what, anything regarding negotiations, let's shut it down. Or you know what, let's just not, let's try to limit them. Or even then, if you saw all of this, why wouldn't you think, okay, if a lot of people want to talk, maybe this law that we built, or this law that was here already, the structure, we can change it. And it should be in the next agenda, and you should be considering those changes. Not everything is going to always be the same. Not everything will, and as you see, there's a lot of people. Right now, today, there was like around 7 students who are staying back. I mean, we've been here since 5. I've been here since 5. I had school today. I had things to do today. But I'm staying here because I want to remind you that we are also care. And there was also teachers here who are staying here to remind you that we believe that is unfair. And we believe that the 20 minutes can be changed, and you can change that. You are in control of that. And as well, we know that majority of the people that were here wanted there to be more than 20 minutes. So please keep that in mind. And like Raul Oreña said, this can just go on the headlines, and it's true. I mean, you were playing by the book, but you can change the book, and it's easy to change it. You all know the rules. You all know how to play around. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. De Dios. Next would be Monique Ureña.
Hello, my name is Monique Ureña, and to add on to what my peers were saying today, I found it to be a great disrespect how dozens of teachers and dozens of students were silenced today. And I demand that the 20-minute bylaw is changed, since, from my understanding, it is in your power to change it. I know that you are 5 people, and you are 5 people in charge of a whole school district, and it is very difficult to understand all the realities of this school district, but we are here to inform you. We are on this platform to inform you of all the issues and all the realities of these schools. So I think it is in the best interest for fairness and democracy in this school district for you guys to listen to us. We're here to help. We're here to inform. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Ureña. Patricia Aguilera.
Good evening. Since I'm not here to talk about negotiations, I'm not allowed, I'm here as a parent. Buenas noches, estimados distrito o escolar, miembros de la mesa directiva. Recibimos un mensaje sobre el resultado de las negociaciones. Si se fijan en el primer párrafo, dice en español que están cansados, están hartos, coloquialmente están hasta la madre. Perdón por mi idioma, pero vengo como padre, molesto. O sea, ¿qué mensaje están enviando a los padres? Que los maestros, o sea, el mensaje que dicen los maestros y los negociantes, representantes del distrito, estamos cansados por 5 años de estar negociando. Si mal no recuerdo, se dio un descanso por enfermedad del señor González, ¿sí? Pero bueno, voy a parar allí. Nada más como padre, digo, ¿qué mensaje están dando? ¿Qué mensaje están dando como distrito escolar? Este mensaje se recibió de los padres, no fui la única que lo recibí. Entonces, no sé, quiero que me expliquen.
No más para, to clarify, did you get that message in the email? Well, I know it was posted here in the outside the door, but how did you get it? ¿Cómo lo recibió usted? ¿En su casa? ¿Una carta?
Yo lo recibí en un correo personal, pero una de mis estudiantes aquí dijo que su mamá lo recibió por medio de Remind, se recibió por Remind. Entonces es público. O O sea, y ahorita lo estamos recibiendo en la entrada. No sé si ustedes estaban enterados de esto.
Sí.
Sí, ok. Entonces, digo, hay que aclarar las cosas. Si se va a dar el mensaje, que se dé claro, no nada más de que se haga ver a los profesores como están pidiendo, solo quieren dinero, solo quieren dinero. Claro, queremos solamente un salario justo y lo justo, pero bueno, ya no me quiero meter como profesora. Como padre, o sea, también me gustaría recibir transparencia. ¿Sí? Gracias, buenas noches.
Gracias. Ms. Aguilera. Mónica Hernández.
Good evening, Monica Hernandez, school counselor at Calexico High School. This is barely about maybe my 7th year. I get confused because the first year didn't quite count because I didn't have that 75%. I'm here and I waited till late at night instead of being at home with my family. I'm sure you all want to be with your families too. Because I am disappointed at the school board for having silenced us today. Like, the community is here, we want to be heard. It doesn't take 20 minutes to comment on every single item, so if that discretion that you have, you could have given that time for us to comment on negotiations so that we can be felt heard. It's important. Like, imagine the morale of just seeing the lawyer there, nothing personal, but just seeing a lawyer there. How does that feel? Like, I don't feel like you're here for us as we're here for our students. I'm a very passionate, I've given everything I have, my time with my family. Last year, working till 2, 3 in the morning, so much grief counseling. I'd cry with students and parents. And I come back happy to see the students on campus, but I'm not happy to see you. I'm not happy at how I'm being received as an educator here, being silenced. I'm here, I tell my students, I love you, I care about you, I miss you. I don't feel like this district or this school board right now is showing that they care for me. If I'm not happy, they mentioned earlier, if we're not happy, we're not gonna be working as hard. I'm used to like working after school, answering emails like, oh, mijo, the deadline for the scholarship is right now. Mijo, what do you need? It's 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. Let me get you your transcript. Let me get you this. You need that letter of recommendation by tomorrow. I'll get it. That's the type of employee I am. You wanna keep me here, trust me, you do, and I wanna be here with these students. But if you're silencing us, I'm disappointed and disgusted. It hurts. It really does. I don't want to lose that passion. I'm too young in this profession to lose that passion. And I will not let you take that away from me, because that's the type of passion I want to deliver to every single student. Add this to the agenda for the next board meeting. Use your discretion. Don't let your counselor close this platform, because not only do we want to inform you, we need to inform the public. Public needs to know this is a platform for you, for us as well. Don't let the lawyer silence us again, please. You have discretion.
Thank you, Ms. Hernandez. Marisela Garcia.
Marisela Garcia, resident of Calexico since birth. I was appalled at the fact that we were being limited by time. And appalled because you have people here, it's not just teachers, it's your community that was coming for a purpose. There are goals that drive us in life. And people had their individual goals, whether it be negotiations, what have you, and you were just hurrying up people. I think about my students when I'm hurrying them up, and you know what? They don't produce. Right now you have people that are willing to come and tell you know what, this is a situation, whether it be fights, whether it be this or that, and they are wanting to let you know that this is happening. Maybe they feel like they're not being heard, or they're heard, but people are saying yes, yes, and it seemed like you just said, okay, be quiet. We don't have time for you. That's how it felt. Now, I know that there's special meetings. At our school, you know what, our principal needs something done, special meeting. Or we need this, special meeting. Why can't we have a special meeting if you know that there's a hot topic that you need to attend to, that you have the community wanting to find out? You know what, let's have a special meeting for that just hot topic. It might take us 2 or 3 hours, and later on you can deal with all of these issues. And people that want to come for those issues will come for those issues. But just to tell people you can't speak, and people giving up their time for other people to speak because that person may be more eloquent at in the manner that they speak, come on. You know how it feels. You all have your positions, whatever the position is, you have them, and you know how important it is to express yourself, to be able to share ideas with other people. We talk about dialogue and being able to communicate, collaborate. Well, right now it's our time to communicate with you. People don't have easy access to board members, to administration. We all have jobs. And for that to happen, it demoralizes you. We talk about social emotional. As a teacher, we're going through a lot in the classroom. A lot. I mean, some of you might not even know what we're going through. And still, we're still individuals that have social emotional needs at home. And yet, here when we're coming to tell you, you know what, this is how I feel, you just tell us you can't speak anymore. And I understand your time is valuable, but all of these people also woke up, maybe some of them woke up early in the morning, they continued their work, came over here and continued. And right now, to tell you the truth, I had some very important business to do, but I thought, it's either that or it's gonna eat me up. I'm a person that gets fired up, and I said, you know what, I better go ahead and speak my mind right now. And that brought me, I was very upset about that. But besides that, that's one thing. And I really would like for you to go to Jefferson Elementary, because I do care about students, but I care also about my teachers, my colleagues. In the back parking lot, and I've been saying this, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna take some of your time here. In the back parking lot, when teachers walk in, I got hurt there several years ago on the sidewalk. You should see the sidewalk right now. It's the sidewalk where you come in on in the entrance as you go in. And I've told administrators that were there before about the situation. The sidewalk has been going on the uphill. Yes.
Where?
In the back, in the parking lot. As you turn on the curb, the sidewalk has been uplifting up.
Okay.
So people, I mean, you go around it. But the cement is breaking apart. And last year, a teacher, but I don't know if she reported it or not, she slid like Superman on the floor. Because when she stepped with her high heels, she stepped on the rock and she went flying. And this happened. And right now, as I walk, because since it happened to me, I go around it. It's still there. And I reported it. And there's been work orders from what I've been told, and it's still there. See, and if I don't tell you this right now, you won't know until somebody gets hurt, and there we go. So these comments are important. We have freedom of speech, liberty, and everything. You don't want people demonstrating, protesting, when they can come and speak to you in an open forum. That's my comment to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your comments, and be sure that that discussion will be in our next board meeting, okay? And it is not that we want to silence people. That is not the idea. But it is, we have laws. We have bylaws. And you are right, we have bylaws that we are able to change. Okay, so it was never our intention to silence people, but we have to follow the rules. Just like you guys have to follow the rules, I have to follow rules, but again, those bylaws, those rules can be changed. So, thank you. Okay. Where are we? So that was item H, comments from the public. Item I, presentations. Okay, Mr. Cota, you already did your present. Okay. I2, body bench presentation for all school sites. There we go.
Good evening, board members. My name is Daniel Ocampo. I'm the Executive Director for Facilities, Planning, Maintenance, Operations, and Transportation. This presentation was based on Ms. Magallanes' request to add some benches to the front of the schools. There is a total request of 70 benches that all the sites are requesting. The price for each bench, if you go to the next slide, for each bench around is about $500 just for the bench itself. And if you go to the next slide, the canopy that most of the schools actually want on the benches is about, it averages about $1,500. So you would be, each bench would average about $2,000 per bench per site for a total of 70. Provided on the next couple of slides is where they would want to be located at. The red are the benches that have shade, and then the yellow markings are the ones that have that do not have shade on them. That would be the first slide is, I believe. Let me go back. Is Blanche Charles, followed by Kennedy Gardens. The next slide. And they all want on Kennedy Gardens. Everybody wants they want all shade benches on their site. The next one would be Calexico High School, CHS 9 campus, and they want a combination of shade benches with non-shade benches, as described there. The next one would be Calexico High School. They want a total of 6 benches, but there's actually they want a combination of 2 in the front, and most of them on the ward parking lot field for people that are leaving and departing from there. The next slide would be Dual Elementary, and they want a combination of benches that have no shade and shade as marked in the slide. The next slide would be Enrique Camarena. They want a total of 5 benches with shade, all of them. And the reason why they want the shade on the benches is in the summer, most of the school sites, the sun directly hits them. So it would be obsolete for us to put a bench there when they're not going to be able to be used because there's no shade provided for those benches out in the school sites. Mains Elementary also would like some benches, but Baines is a little bit different because they actually, the way the school is set up is the building provides natural shade for them. So that wouldn't require any shade benches. The next couple of slides are the same thing per site. So the next one would be Willie Moreno. They want 10 shaded benches because the sun hits them directly at 3 o'clock. The next slide would be, trying to remember what this was. Oh, Kennedy Gardens. And they also would want shade benches. The only school that didn't require any was Jefferson because they're already completed. They already have enough benches outside, and their light is provided for them. So the next slide would also be the last slide. Would be Aurora, and they also would want a combination of shade benches with no shade benches. The total cost averages about $1,500. $150,000 for the combination of shades and no shade benches that they're requesting. And this is all the presentation I had for this part.
Thank you, Mr. Ocampo.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Go ahead, Mr. Ocampo.
Yes. Sorry.
Mr. Campos, good evening. It's a great idea. My only question is, you know what? I don't know if we can, but I've seen it elsewhere where families adopt these benches. In the
Yes.
memory of whoever they want. And
We could
I don't know
try
if we
that
can.
as an option. That's why it's a presentation.
Yes.
If you want, and if you
I mean,
guys-
and have the public adopt these benches, I think, but I mean, that's just a thought. And it would kind of cut down the 100 and, what's the price?
the reason why is just the straight structure is $1,500. So it's very expensive because you're talking a bench with a shade structure is about $2,000, averaging it out. So it does add up after a while.
Just food for thought on that.
All right,
All right.
thank you.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Where would we pay, if we decide to, let's just say we vote on it, where would we getting the money from? From what, would it be from ESSERS? Would it be from the general funds?
My way we understood it right now, it would be from ESSERS, and we would have to go through that
Okay.
process.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Thank you, Mr. Ocampo.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate the presentation. That was item I2. I3, BKM office furniture, presentation by this company. Go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for staying late to hear our presentation. Our presentation is in response to the district-wide classroom furniture RFP that was recently submitted by our company, and we wanted to take this time to kind of present a little bit about who we are, what we can do, and how we can support the district.
So we can have some of those extra binders in the back for the public to see, please.
Sure. We have a brief video, and then we'll get started.
Go ahead. Oh, I'll share mine with Kiki.
Hello, my name is Jim Stelter, President of Smith System and leader of Steelcase Learning globally. We really appreciate the opportunity to walk through some of the reasons we think Steelcase and Smith System is the best solution for your project. First of all, it's the research that we put behind it. You may not see that research, but you will feel it when you look at the products. And that's bringing together some of the Lee survey that we're going to talk about tonight. We'll put product in on our dime, survey how it works, and then modify it in the best, which is best for you. Makes a lot of sense in terms of understanding the research that make that work. Number two, we really look at how we look at classrooms. We don't just function on one aspect. We look at the classroom, we look at how we relate to the instructor, how the students react together. We look at the walls that surround your entire space, and then we look outside in the in-between spaces. It's this look-through of all these areas that come together to make your school an outstanding learning institution. Number three, we do have to talk about what it means when we bring these things together. Our design resources will look at them together and say, what works best for you? How does it come together? How does it come apart? How does it move? Learning is active, and we believe that, and you'll see that in the products that we presented tonight. And finally, what about the products? The products themselves, a lifetime warranty that will deliver on time with the quality you expect. And in these times of uncertain supply chain, Smith and Steelcase lead the industry in terms of what we're doing. We want to bring these together in the final part that makes us the best solution, and that's our distribution partner, BKM. They are fabulous at making sure they're local. They know what they're doing. They're a premier Steelcase and Smith dealer, somebody they can trust and work with to make sure everything's right for years to come. So again, we appreciate the time. And I'm standing by my cell phone right now. If there's any questions whatsoever, I'll come out there and make sure we answer them on your behalf. We look forward to and appreciate the opportunity you've given us. Thank you.
So like Jim said, we appreciate the opportunity to present in front of you this evening. My name is Brian Justice. I'm the Vice President of BKM Office Works, and I'm joined with my colleague, Elizabeth Seifert from Steelcase. We're going to walk you through a little bit about who we are and how we can support the district. So a bit about who we are at BKM. We're a Steelcase dealer based in Southern California. We support the Southern California market. We believe that space impacts behavior, and behavior over time helps create culture. We specialize in a number of different verticals, but we do have a specific, we pay a specific attention to the education vertical here in Southern California. We are a full turnkey dealer, so not only can we provide furniture, but we also do all the installation, design, specification. We have an audio-visual division within our company as well, because we are now seeing how much furniture is now interacting with power and data in classrooms throughout the United States and around the world. Like I said, we do focus on education. We have a team of professionals from sales, design, project management, installation, and support. Our team focuses only on education, and combined, we have over 100 years catering to the K through 12 and higher ed market throughout Southern California. Some of our experience is unmatched. We cater to whether that be K through 12 or higher ed all throughout Southern California and support a number of universities as well as districts throughout our locations as well. I wanted to talk a little bit, or I'm going to allow or let Liz talk for a little bit about our warranty, because that seemed to be something that was raised of maybe some potential concern or some things that we can discuss based on the last school board meeting. So I'll turn it over to Liz. Thanks.
Hi. So the Steelcase and Smith System limited lifetime warranty is some of the best warranties in the industry. And ultimately that comes down to a couple of things. One, product quality. So we have far fewer claims compared to our competitors, as you can see on that bottom graph on the left. Ultimately, that means that we have product quality is upstanding and by far the best. So fewer warranty claims and ultimately a superior product. Next slide. This is a side-by-side comparison of the Han warranty compared to the Smith and Steelcase system warranties. And as you can see, it's either equitable or better in many cases, ultimately providing you a better product and a better product lifetime.
So I think the key to product warranties is a number of different manufacturers will offer a warranty. What matters really is how you maintain that warranty and how you execute it. And that's where BKM, the company that I work for, would come into play. What we do when you have warranty claims, whether that be a teacher, an administrator, faculty, staff, they go to our website, they type in what their claim is, and we get back to them in 24 hours with a solution to that problem. Because we work with some of the best manufacturers in the industry, and our proposal includes the manufacturers that are Steelcase and Smith Systems, we would be able to guarantee the warranty and service it with our service techs that are located at our location. We would file the warranty claim and have someone out there that would that would correct the claim or replace the furniture at the cost of the manufacturer. There's a lot of talk about a warranty, but how you execute on those warranties is going to be the key. However you file your warranty claims now, I am not aware of, but this is the process that we would use and implement inside the district should we be selected as your partner.
So there was a number of cost savings outlined in our proposal. Starting from the top, we had offered 50 free Steelcase node chairs, which is that blue chair you see over here with this tablet arm. The only difference provided in the options at the bottom you see pictured is that it has a base where you can throw a backpack or books. We also offered a pilot classroom voucher, so allowing you guys to essentially, design a classroom with us, do pre-occupancy surveys, and post-occupancy surveys, ultimately allowing you to test proof of concept. So essentially, if you're going to purchase a number of classrooms, this would allow you to test $30,000 worth of a classroom or two, however far it gets you. Free warehousing storage, so 30 days free which is about a $4,000 cost savings. And then 2 different rebates, one from Steelcase, which is a $100,000 rebate on a $1.25 million spend, and then one from Smith System, which was another $30,000 on a $1 million spend. And then in addition to that, BKM has committed to their UCOP labor pricing, which is rates that are relevant from 2015, so ultimately saving you guys quite a bit of money, especially when labor rates are inflated.
Yeah, I think the labor rate hold is a huge advantage. Again, these are 2015 price holds that would be valid throughout the duration of the contract. So Liz briefly touched on some evaluations and some surveys that we can help with, but I wanted to kind of talk about what those really mean. So we have something called a Lee survey, and what that is we engage faculty and staff prior to any changes that we make into a classroom. We get their feedback, we analyze their feedback, We implement the furniture and the solutions that we've identified through that feedback, and then we do a post-occupancy survey to show what the impact was of making that change in that classroom. This comes free of charge. We would normally charge a consultation fee, but this is something that we're willing to offer to the district in order for everyone to identify a proof of concept before making a larger purchase. We found that this is a very impactful way to make informed decisions in districts throughout the country, whether that be a K through 12 Lee survey, elementary school survey, or a junior high or high school survey. The results would allow you, again, to identify a proof of concept and then implement that proof of concept once you've identified that that is the right solution for your district. Again, we don't just survey administrators, we also survey students, so we can learn and identify what impacts it's had on both of those decision makers in the learning process. And then finally, we brought some product tonight at the request of Lorenzo to show you some of the differences between what we're offering versus what you currently have. We've left it all up here, but there's a couple things I wanted to highlight for everyone. All of these desks that you see here tonight are flexible. They go up to 36 inches, which allows your furniture to be flexible depending on grade level. So smaller students would have it at a lower platform. You could then raise it and have high school students sitting on a stool in some cases, so that your furniture is not only flexible within grade levels, but flexible throughout the entire district. You'll also see, and what I want to call attention to, is an edge band that we specialize with. You'll see the edge band that Liz has here. The difference between our edge banding and edge banding you might see in other school furniture is that we have a T-band that is nail gunned in every 6 to 8 inches. What that does is make that edge band very difficult to pull apart, and therefore makes it so that your product lasts a lot longer. Should that edge band come apart, you're obviously supported by the warranties that we demonstrated earlier tonight, as well as the support from BKM that could guarantee that those would be rectified quickly and immediately. The other thing I want to point out is that when we flip over some of this furniture, and excuse me, I'm going to step away from the microphone for a second. What you'll find the difference between what we do and what you'll see with others is that it is not just, the legs are not just nailed into the top of the furniture, but it's also supported by the metal casing as well, which gives you much more durability and reliability for the foreseeable future. Everything you see tonight, for the most part, is on casters. We believe in active learning. We believe it stimulates the brain, stimulates the mind, and helps people pay attention. Even simple things like the swivel on a chair allows students that have a harder time concentrating, moving in their seat even while staying put. Our suggestion for most of these proof of concepts is to use flexible classroom seating and active learning type of behaviors in classrooms to help implement a new way of learning for them. Again, on the screen, you'll see that the value of that edge band just shows the durability, the thought that goes into the manufacturing, and why we believe that our proposal represents the best value overall.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll turn it over to you guys if there's any questions that we can answer for you. But thank you again for the opportunity to present for you tonight. Sorry about it being so late.
Well, first of all, thank you for coming tonight at a short notice. And again, thank you. The only reason you're here, you weren't given an opportunity to present your product, and we made a decision, and that's why you're here. I wanted my colleagues to see your product, and we'll take it from there.
Sure, we appreciate it. Thanks for the
Yeah.
opportunity.
But I do have a question.
Yeah.
How much weight does one of those desks carry? What's the maximum?
All of them are dependent on the the finishes and selections that you identify. Something on casters is going to be a little bit different than something on a fixed leg, but I can get you the specific information. Most of the time, it's up to 400 pounds.
And what's the cost?
Everything that you see here is variable. In our RFP response, we dictate all of the costs for the items that we represented. If you scroll down to the bottom of the cost, the furniture we represented was the best overall value in terms of price for the district, and that was submitted as part of our original RFP response.
That's all I have.
Thank you. Mr. Romero, you have any questions? Ms. Magallanes?
No, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thank
Thanks
you
for having us tonight.
Thank you for the presentation and thank you for your patience and for having you wait to give us this presentation.
It's not a concern. We saw in the last meeting that there were some current concerns about the warranty compared to other manufacturers that were presented. We just wanted to make sure we were here to state that ours exceeds or meets any warranty expectations you would have with any of our competitors.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
We appreciate your presentation. Thank you. So that was I3, BKM office furniture. Item J, consent agenda. All items of opinion will be acted upon one motion without discussion unless any item is pulled for separate consideration and action. Mr. Kim, you have a couple of a couple of slips for consent agenda, J2, J8, and J11. Go ahead.
So now I have 9 minutes. Thank you.
What was that?
Now I have 9 minutes. Can I talk right now, so straight together, or I come every calling me?
Oh, yes. Yes, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, first of all, I was kind of raising my voice, so it's made me kind of like kind of like a suffer to understand how school district doesn't function. And now I'm talking about this one was called the special board meeting agenda, the minutes, the approving. You know how many special board meetings you guys had this time? You had a meeting September 9, regular meeting, and after that, September 14, September 28, October 6, 3 special meetings. Don't you think if we have a 2 regular meetings, it's going to be a lot of a prevented special meeting and short notice? One time I came here to one of the special meetings, nobody there except the 2 teachers. They said, we just randomly we got the special meeting notice. Regularly, most of the school districts, they have 2 times a meeting each month or more. And we used to have it. And we had the time because a special meeting, they're limited for the people. But the regular meeting, we can talk, public talk any issues, school district matters. And actually you guys to taking a lot of time or chance away from the public. And now you want to limit our times. So what people are going to understand? You guys are going to be dictating. You guys just want to listen it. You guys are trying to take away from the people, publics, to be able to engaging or participating in the meeting. In the other way, you guys just want to listen it. And suffer. You know how many items today you guys have it? Did you count it? I have to count 3 or 4 times because I keep running, missing the number. 93 items in agenda today. Think about it. You guys can put the 2 meetings that you guys put into doesn't suffer the people. You guys can give them more time. And you guys talking about what's it called, I think Mr. Calderon was mentioning a while ago we have to follow the rules law. There's a rule say you can eliminate in 20 minutes each item, but they don't say you have to. You choose to it. So the 3 minutes, 5 minutes, mostly they go for the 3 minutes. So people who have some kind of habit to talking, they can control the 3 minutes to bring the issues, but a lot of the public, they can't. So when I was a council member, when I was mayor, I give the regular public about 5 minutes, but the people who come attending very, very openly, I give them the 3 minutes. So I think you guys have to be a little open mind on the meeting. And also the other one is a J8, same things. As a board member has to be, I believe you guys are all that well trained, attending all the meetings, seminars, you guys are learning it. But if you guys know how to do it, we don't need a lawyer in the meeting. Today, a lawyer made a big mistake. She was acting like a school board member. Lawyer can advise the president or board to what to do, not to do, but not the public. That's what she did. I don't know how many years she has experience. She made the big mistakes, make the public angry. That anger goes to you guys, not the lawyer. You know how much it costs the lawyer come down here? We have to pay all the hours of trip, lodging, meal. Think about it. We used to have no lawyer in the meeting. A lot of school districts, they don't. So we spend the money on those. As you guys have a board policy like a board training. Yeah, board members the training. So we have to be self-sufficient to lead the meeting. Yes, sometimes we need some legal issues. Yes, understandable. You can call them to the lawyers in case you have issues. Or you can postpone it for the next meeting after you can get the legal advice. So please, when you have the policies on the school, the board of training, you guys have to know to run the meeting without the lawyer. That cause you guys not learning without the lawyer, that costs our public, it costs the children. Look at them, we have a $12 million a lawyer and consulting. That's too much. It's almost like 8% of our budget goes to the lawyer and consulting. Okay, the other one is item J11. We're going 4 teachers, 1 administrator in 3 days, Phoenix, Arizona. We have a budget $3,768.84 for the vehicle rental. Something wrong. I don't know. You guys, how many buses you guys are renting? Something wrong in here. That is clearly showing how you guys are spending our money, how you guys are spending our children's money. At the same time, you are what's called squeezing the teachers' employees not to their salaries. They need to support their life. So this is showing how you guys are taking care of the budget. It's incredible. It's a rental, $3,700 something for the 3 days, 5 persons. I don't know. They necessary to rent everybody each own cars. There's something else there. So please do your job, and like a board member training, financing is very important portion of our issues. That's why you guys we don't have much money. We spend we have a budget almost $200 million budget. And 7-8% of the budget is spending on lawyer and consulting, plus on this kind of expenditure. Of course, we don't have money for our children, and we don't have money for good teachers and employees. Please do diligence. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kim. Item K, consent agenda, Board Advisory Committee on School Construction, BACSC, Vetted items. K1.
I move to approve items J1.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Item J, consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I second.
Motion by Mr. Romero, second by Ms. Magallanes. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye, motion passes 4-0. I apologize for that. Okay. So, that was item J. Item K, consent agenda. Consent items, Board Advisory Committee on School Construction, vetted items. K1, approval of the Boarding Phase 2 project plan.
I move to approve.
Motion by Mr. Romero. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Calderon Jr. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes 4-0. K2, approval of tennis, softball, baseball field improvements and renovation plan.
I move to approve.
Motion by Mr. Romero,
Second.
second by Ms. Magallanes.
I do have a question.
Go ahead. Is anybody? Okay.
Evening again.
And we're talking about the tennis, softball, baseball item.
Yes.
And my question is, did we consult the coaches?
Yes, we did.
Mr., what's the baseball coach?
Oh.
The baseball coach, the football coach? and
The only
everybody?
person that wasn't present at the time we talked to him, because I don't know where he was at, was the tennis coach. But everybody else was consulted. We're not losing tennis courts, we're just moving one tennis court to another location.
Okay. And the principal?
Yes, she was also aware of this.
All right, that's all I have.
Thank you.
So there's a motion and a second. If no more questions, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes 4-0. Item K3, approval of the Pacific West Letter of Intent.
So
Ms.
move to approve.
Motion by Mr. Romero, is there a second?
Pacific, I do,
Second with,
that's the energy? Can we have some information on it?
are you going to second with a comment or question?
Yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Keep me here. This is the same presentation that we did last board meeting, that we talked about the HVAC systems. And this is the same deal. We're just trying to move forward with the company. And this is the letter to be able to move forward so we could apply to AB 41.
So my question, we invested in Climate Tech.
Yes.
They're not gonna redo what Climate Tech did, correct?
No, they're not. It's totally different.
Can you explain what they're gonna do?
So they're gonna work on the plan to replace the 171 ACs that need to be replaced. Make sure that all the schools that are not in Pelican are, which is the thermostat software that we use on most sites, except for 3 sites that we have, which one of them is Cesar Chavez, part of the dual, and I believe Jefferson also has a section that is not controlled by Pelican. And then on top of that, they're also going to change the thermostats to make sure that we're compliant with the oxygen level inside the classrooms.
Because Climate Tech installed thermostats.
It's the same thermostats that are going to be installed, but they're going to be upgraded. So we're not going to invest a lot into that portion of it.
Okay. All right, that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry, second.
Okay, so that was item K3, approval of Pacific West Letter of Intent. It was second by Romero. Motion by Romero, second by Calderon Jr. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 4-0. K4, approval of Calexico High School Master Plan.
So move to approve.
Motion by Mr. Romero,
Second.
second by Ms. Magallanes. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 4-0. K5, agreement between Calexico High School and KOA Corporation to provide but to provide a traffic impact study for Calexico High School.
So
I'm
move
motion
to
to approve,
approve.
but I'd like to see what it is.
Motion by who?
Yeah.
Mr. Calderon
With the
Jr.?
question, what is it?
Okay.
So this is the traffic study that was recommended by the project manager. to make sure that we are in compliance with the city and make sure that when we do bring the 9th grade academy over to high school, we are not in any violation with the city, or we would have to make arrangements to modify if we are not in compliance with the city code.
And that's with parking and?
That's with the actual traffic,
The
the amount of
traffic.
traffic that's going to be moved over to the high school.
Okay, all right, I'm good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So there's a motion, is there a second?
I second.
There's a second by Mr. Romero. No more questions or comments. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes 4-0. I apologize for that. K6, agreement between Calexico Unified School District and Padre Associates Incorporated for supplemental site investigation, SSI, for Calexico High School Measure Q construction project.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Romero, second by Ms. Magallanes. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes 4-0. Item K7, agreement between Calexico Unified School District and Western Environmental and Safety Technologies, LLC, to conduct a hazard abatement survey at Calexico High School's Barnett and Coffee Gym locker rooms modernization project.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Romero. Is there a second?
I second.
Second by Ms. Magallanes. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye, motion passes 4-0. Item L, informational items. Item L1, Superintendent's report.
Good evening. On behalf of Superintendent Gonzalez, just want to highlight some of our activities that have been taking place. So we're in our second month of school, and we're gearing up for our Red Ribbon Week. You're going to find a resolution in our agenda today related to the celebration that will take place during the last week of October. Our students and staff have also been focusing on awareness with the National Bully Prevention Month, Breast Cancer Awareness, National Mental Health Day, World Teacher Day, Custodian Day, and our constant contact letter continue to highlight several of these events. Calexico High School will be having a homecoming game pretty soon, and we will be preparing for crowning our homecoming queen and princesses. We would like to let our parents and students know that our assets and tutoring programs can help with homework issues, and so all students are encouraged to participate with these programs. And then both our ESSER 3 plan survey and the income survey were sent out to our families this month, and the ESSER survey has received close to almost 500 responses from parents, staff, and students. And the income survey is critical and used to determine the unduplicated and free and reduced lunch counts of our families. We also had on Tuesday, October the 5th, the 100th anniversary of adult education. So this took place on October 5th. And then independent studies, we are now close to 650 students. The majority of our students that were on the waiting list have now been accommodated. And then for sports, our football season has been fantastic. The varsity team is currently at a 4-0 overall and a 1-1 in the IVL. On Friday, October 8th, the varsity team won 25-15 against Southwest, and tonight they play Brawley High. Big shout out to our players and our coaches for their teamwork. Cross-country teams, the boys and girls cross-country teams, competed this Saturday at Sunbeam Lake at the first IVL meet. The girls team placed second overall with Brianna Gallegos as the top runner. And then volleyball, the team won their last match against Palo Verde 3-0 on Monday, October the 11th. On Tuesday, October the 5th, they defeated Imperial 3-0. On Wednesday, October 13th, all teams played and defeated San Luis High School 3-0. And tonight they play Hopeful for a potential tie for the first place position. And finally, tennis, our team is on a roll. We defeated Hopeville 16-2 on October 6th, High Tech High 11-7 on October 8th, and Brawley 12-6 on October 11th. On Wednesday, October 13th, we played Southwest and ended the season in third place. Next week, we will compete in the IVL tournaments, and winter sports applications are now being accepted. That's it.
Thank you, Ms. Ramirez. That was item L1. Item L2, Measure V update.
Good evening, board members. My name is John Dominguez. I'm the project manager from School Site Solutions. I also have Kim Desert, who's one of our project managers from School Site Solutions as well. We'd like to start tonight with your update for Measure V. I will jump right to the issue with the elevator. We have received correspondence from SCI, indicating that they're going to extend the warranty for the elevator at the A2 and A3 buildings for 3 years. You have an extension of a warranty and service agreement that was generally in the contract for 1 year. They've offered an additional 2 years on that warranty because of the issues that we've experienced with the elevator. Keeping in mind that we have worked diligently to get this elevator resolved. Unfortunately, it's been an unfortunate situation for the district. We understand that. We have reached out to SCI many times to try to get them to resolve this issue. We've told them about the displeasure from the board's perspective. They don't seem to care. Unfortunately, we have had to involve legal. We've had to involve their upper management, and this is what they have offered. We have also have a letter from our legal attorney that has presented to the board. I'm sure you guys have a copy of it. And so that is where we're at right now with the elevator. It is functioning. It's been functioning normally for the last week. And so we're hoping that this thing is going to continue to move forward and not have the problems that it's had in the past. As far as technology goes for, well, let me finish here with the eyebrows on Measure V. So Measure V eyebrows over the window awnings, the installation was proposed by SEI to commence on September 24, 2021. All of that installation needed to take place after school to avoid any interruption during the day. All of the materials were delivered to the site on the 24th of September, and the fabric and the installation for the eyebrow should be completed this weekend. Measure Q update. We've had our technology focus meetings. We conducted focus meetings with IT staff this week and developed the educational specifications for the high school modernization project. That's been completed. Thank you to the board tonight for approving the modernization schematic design, the traffic study, supplemental site agreement. Thank you for Mr. Camarena for being at the board at the basic meeting. We appreciate the attendance of all the basic meeting members. Mr. Alvarado, excuse me. Yes, Mr. Alvarado. In addition to that, we have the high school marquee under review. The engineering plans were sent back to the DSA with comment. We are looking at having an installation. Jesus, when is that? About in November, hopefully? Yep. So we should have a marquee install over November during Thanksgiving vacation. We conducted the ACM asbestos-containing material survey at the high school locker room, and the LBP, the lead-based paint surveys. Okay, we'll get to that. Hang on. In addition to that, we are planning on performing the supplemental site agreement with Padre Environmental. Now that the board has approved the supplemental site investigation contract, we're planning on bringing that forward and having them come out and do the soil sampling, pulling samples over Christmas vacation. Kim has a couple other things she wants to bring up.
Just that this week on Monday in the paper, the Godfrey and Varner Gym, the hazardous material abatement is out for bid, and those bids will be back on, where's the date on there? They just came out, oh, November 4th. So we'll be opening bids, and at the November meeting, we'll bring in the copy of the bid list, and you can decide who you want to go with. Also, the dual elementary loading and unloading a parking lot is out for bid. Those will be due the same day. One's at 2 o'clock and one is at Well, I guess we're opening them all at 2 o'clock, okay. The other one that's out is the Border Link, those 3 schools, which is Mainz, Cesar Chavez, and Rockwood. Those are out for bid, and they will be coming in at 2 o'clock on November 4th as well. So things are starting up with using our Measure Q funds and some ESSER funds, hopefully.
Yep. In addition to that, we also have our pre-qualification documents that have been returned to us for contractors. We'll be opening those and reviewing them tomorrow. That concludes our update. Board have any questions?
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. At this point, with the permission of the board, I'd like to jump all the way to 041.
Should we do N1 first?
I'm sorry?
The MOU for the SRO? I think that's critical.
Okay, well,
The
if that's-
N1, the
N1.
N1 as well, yeah, that's the one.
which one is that one?
Let's start with that one, please.
Yes, but what number is that?
N1.
N1, okay, all right. We have time for 3 more items. N1, discussion, possible action, and memo of understanding between Calexico Unified School District and the Imperial County Sheriff's Office for 1 school resource officer for the 2021-22 school year.
I move to approve.
There's a motion by
Second with a comment.
by Mr. Romero, second by Mr. Calderon Jr. with comments. Go ahead.
If I may, we don't have an MOU yet. We've been working with the Sheriff's Department and our law enforcement, and the sheriff from the Sheriff's Department asked that we put this on hold because before we can approve an MOU, they want to make sure that they have their own MOU within themselves because they have to agree on the jurisdiction and responsibility of the duties once they're here. So this one is not ready for approval yet. They've asked us to hold on for more time until they, within themselves, are ready to proceed with the MOU with us.
So, Mr.
I
Romero.
withdraw my motion.
Okay, so Mr. Romero's withdrawing his motion. Mr. Calderon, would you withdraw your second?
Remove my
Yes,
second.
then there we go.
But I'd like to make a comment on this.
Go ahead.
Good evening, everyone, and this is to the numerous phone calls I received from parents, staff, students over the problem that we have in the school district. I informed you that I would take matters into hand, and I believe all my peers believe the same, where we need to keep not only our staff safe, our community safe, but most important, our students safe. When they leave them here in these school sites, it's our responsibility to keep these students safe. So I urge that we get this MOU with the sheriffs, with the Calexico PD, and bring these sheriffs at the Calexico High School as soon as possible.
So our MOU with the sheriff, we have that ready, and it has been vetted by legal, but they're the ones who are asking us to hold on until they have their own MOU within themselves.
All right, and I understand that. That should be a priority, and we should have that officer as soon as possible before someone else gets hurt.
Will do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Calderon Jr. So at this point, like I was asking, I would like to go straight to 041, resolution regarding compliance with Education Code Section C0119, as revised by Chapter 118 statutes of 2005 and California Code of Regulations, Title 5, Section 9531, regarding sufficiency of textbooks and instructional materials. Ms. Ramirez?
Yes, so we do have 2 resolutions on the agenda. The original item that was there, we had some books that were pending for arrival. They did come in on time, so we now have a revised resolution, and that's the one that we need the board to approve, now that we have textbooks for every student.
So is that 041?
So for 041, approval with the revised resolution.
Okay.
I move to approve.
Is there a motion?
I move to approve the revised resolution.
There's a motion by Mr. Romero, second by Mr. Calderon Jr. It is a resolution, so we're gonna do a roll call. Mr. Romero?
Yes.
Ms. Magallanes?
Yes.
Mr. Calderon Jr.?
Yes.
And myself, Mr. Calderon. Our resolution is approved 4-0. Yes. 04, yes. That was the second one that I needed to do. 040, resolution approving and adopting the school facilities need analysis and justification study and authorization for authorizing the alternative school facility fees. Ms.
So moved to
Ramirez?
approve.
Okay, there's a motion by Mr. Romero. Is there a second?
Second.
Is it second? Okay, there's a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Roll call.
I'm sorry, it's a roll call. It's a roll call. Mr. Romero?
Yes.
Ms. Magallanes?
Yes.
Mr. Calderon Jr.?
Yes.
Myself, Mr. Calderon, yes. Resolution passes 4-0. And it is now 10:23.
Are you ending it?
That's it?
Are you finishing the meeting? I'm sorry.
Yes, so at this point, what we're going to do is we will continue our meeting on Tuesday at 5:00 p.m.
Would the board entertain, these are grant monies, 026 and 038, that we would need
Which one?
approved regarding grant monies?
What number?
026 and 038.
026. Okay, all right, since we have time,
And 021, I have, remember the CTE ones I asked you for.
okay, so let's do, okay, so we have a couple.
So
We have some time. 021, agreement between Calexico Unified School District and Dragger Incorporated to purchase, delivery, and installation of fire training module and race bomb chamber for Aurora High School. Is there a motion?
Yeah, motion with a question.
Go ahead.
Maribel, is this for the strong force?
Yes.
Okay,
And there is time constraints on it, correct?
We have until December 31st.
okay.
Okay, yeah.
There's a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Romero. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 4-0. Which one?
010?
010. Agreement between Calexico Unified School District and FAC Incorporated for in-command on-scene simulation software. Is there a
So
motion?
moved.
Motion by Mr. Romero. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Calderon Jr. Yes.
That's a strong force. I did.
Same thing.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Motion passes 4-0. That was
26?
026.
23, get over
And 028, dijo.
Hold on. Which one?
30. So 026?
026, bid award and agreement between Calexico Unified School District and FAAC Incorporated for the purchase of driving simulator at Calexico High School.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Calderon Jr. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Magallanes. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes 4-0.
038?
038, BACSC, vetted item resolution and agreement between Calexico Unified School District and Park Planner to purchase and install steel shade structure at Calexico High School.
So
Is there-
moved.
I have a question.
So there's a motion, there's a motion by Mr. Romero and second by Mr. Calderon Jr. with a question.
Yes. Where is this going to be installed? It doesn't say where it's going to be
It's
installed.
installed on top of the police academy, I forgot,
The,
the obstacle course. They're gonna install it right on top, and they're gonna be added fans also, and ventilation, so it's a little bit more friendly to use during the summer.
okay, and it's also with the strong
Yes.
workforce?
Yes.
All right.
So the motion
Yes,
stands second, and there's a resolution. Mr. Romero,
Aye.
Ms. Magallanes,
Aye.
Mr. Calderon Jr.,
Aye.
myself, Mr. Calderon. Yes. It's a resolution, so we have to do that, right?
Yeah. And we need the 023, which is the COVID testing for employees.
Oh, okay, that's okay. 023, agreement between Calexico Unified School District and Dr. Tian Vo for employee COVID-19 testing. Is there a motion?
So
You know,
moved.
I do have a second with a question.
Hold on, who made the motion?
I did.
Oh, Mr.
Second.
Romero, and second with a question by Mr. Calderon Jr.
You know, it was brought to my attention that, for example, with the athletes, they had to go to Dr. Vogue's clinic. Is there any way that we can bring Dr. Vogue or his staff to the high school? Because it was creating a burden for the transportation for the parents and so forth, and for the kids. I mean, they have to actually go to the clinic, get whatever vaccination or test, and then have to come back to.
Yes,
to the-
so originally when we set up the agreement for our students to go to Dr. Vo, he was making some special allocation of time for that. He agreed to come out if we had around 30 students to bring his mobile unit, and so it's not something that we've discussed as of this moment, but since he's going to be coming out a couple days a week per this agreement, I can talk to him definitely about on those times when he's going to already be there for our purposes of the agreement, to be able to stay for our student athletes to get tested, because that's not a specific day, it's a weekly type of issue, so I think we could work
Yeah,
on
it
that
just
to
cuts
accommodate
the
that.
travel
Really-
time for
really
the
good idea.
students.
Yes, absolutely.
And the parents.
Yeah, it's a great idea. I'll make a note to talk to him about that tomorrow morning.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Great idea, thanks.
So that's a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Okay, we have two from technology that need to get approved also, or
Hold
reviewed.
on. Motion passed, Ms. Magallanes.
Was that a resolution?
No, they just.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 4-0.
Okay, is it 022?
Agreement between Calexico Unified School District and T-Mobile USA for internet services.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Romero, is there a second?
I second.
Second by Ms. Magallanes. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes 4-0.
Might as well do all of them then.
027, we don't have time
No,
because
that's
we have 2 more minutes. 027, renewal of agreement between Calexico Unified School District and Soft Choice for Microsoft software licenses.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Romero, is there a second?
Which one was it? 27?
27, yes.
Second.
Second by Mr. Calderon Jr. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes 4-0. Do we need to do the employment reports?
Employment reports.
So let's go. Item 042, certificate of employment report. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Mr.
Second.
Romero, is there a second? Second by Mr. Calderon Jr. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes 4-0. And 043, classified employment report.
So moved.
For classified employment report, we were recommending approval with the exception of the food service assistant, Sylvia Ibarra.
Okay, so motion, who motioned?
Wait. Was that discussed?
Which
Hey,
one?
when did that come up?
Excuse me? Oh, this was food service assistant, Sylvia Ibarra. We have there under termination, but we're going to bring it back to the next board meeting with a different reason.
Okay, yeah, that's right, yeah. We talked about that. Okay, so is there a motion?
So
So,
moved.
second.
Motion by Mr. Calderon Jr., second by Mr. Romero. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes 4-0. And we're going to continue this meeting on Tuesday at 5 p.m. Here,
Adjourn.
yes. And adjourn, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Calderon, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Magallanes. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye, motion passes 4-0. Good night.
Have a seat. That.